book of Revelation, chapter 7.
I am not your robot, I am not a. Then I met Jesus and seen that the throne on. I was running with the.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the WINsdom Podcast, where we provide you with the wisdom to win in every area of life. I'm your host, Carrington Brown, and on today, we're going to be talking about femininity. Right. And so the reason why I want to discuss this topic is because my wife, she teaches a program called Worthy of the Wait, and it's a 6-week program, and it's amazing. Actually, it's a 5-week program. My apologies. And it's an amazing program, and it helps equip women to be prepared for the relationship that they desire to be with. It equips women to be phenomenal women, phenomenal wives, phenomenal business owners, just phenomenal people in general as a woman. And so over these 5 weeks, one of the things that she does is she teaches a 5-week course, I would say, along with the Worthy of the Wait course on femininity, right? And so it's called Feminine Communication. And over the 5 weeks, she's talking about femininity and what it is and why it's important and what it looks like and how you need to walk in it. And so a couple of days ago, she asked me to teach her last install of this course. And so I think it's so amazing, one, that I had the opportunity and privilege to be a part of this program with my wife, but then two, just the amount of information that I came across and the simple information that I provided and the effect that it had on the women that were tuning in or have tuned in for watching the replay. And so I said, with this information, let me bring it to the podcast. Let me share a little bit of information about femininity, because when it comes to life, and my wife and I, we're all about, helping people and equipping people to create healthy and thriving relationships. As a woman, being feminine is important. Like a woman walking in her natural feminine nature, exuding femininity is very important, not just to her as a woman, but then also as her role as a girlfriend, as a fiance, as a wife, and a significant other in general. So I just wanted to come on a little bit and talk to you guys a little bit about femininity. Now, when it comes to femininity, when I looked up the definition, the way that I summarized the short definition is femininity is the natural characteristics and qualities of a woman. Right. So when you think about a feminine woman, it's just her being the natural, organic woman that she is. And so a lot of characteristics and qualities come with that. And so I know a lot of times, with the feminine movement and how it is now, it seems like it's transitioned to, women empowerment to men, we just like y'all, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of switched a little bit. And so I just want to talk about just the nature of just femininity in general. And once again, it's just the natural characteristics and qualities of a woman, who she is, how she is, and what she is. And so a lot of times, and actually a part of the reason why I think that the feminist movement has transitioned how it is in the perspective a little bit is because a lot of times people see being feminine as weak. People see, a feminine woman being just a natural, nurturing, caring individual as weak, when being feminine is not weak. It's you being a woman, right? If a male, and listen, if not a man, but if a male abuses and disrespects that, that has nothing to do with you and you being weak, but everything to do with him not being secure in who he is. Therefore, he have to exude or project on you his perceived weakness about himself, right? Because the woman at the core, a woman at her natural sense, an organic woman, is strong and powerful. And there are many examples of that all throughout history. And I guarantee if you're a woman watching this, you have experienced multiple opportunities and situations in your life where you saw your own strength and even grew up seeing the strength and power of women just being women, right? So all I want to do real quick is just give 3 characteristics that I think are expressions of a woman walking in femininity, right? And so the first one is confidence. When I think about a feminine woman, I think about a woman that is confident, right? And so when I say confident, I'm not just talking about confidence just in herself as a woman and who she is, but along with that, or that being paired with her confidence in God to do what he's promised in the Bible, right? And so this is why I'm saying that, because when we talk about relationships, as a woman, standards and expectations are important. For men, standards and expectations are important. And so when it comes to a relationship, oftentimes you will see or come in contact with people who are in dysfunctional relationships or relationships where they're not being treated the way they desire and truly deserve to be treated, simply because they started out expressing expectations and standards, but they didn't stand by it. And you oftentimes see this when somebody reaches a point of being single for so long. And really, it doesn't even have to be a long time. But you come in contact with single people who have reached a point of being lonely. Like, I'm lonely. I'm tired of being by myself. And then when they're in that state and somebody comes along and says, hey, here's some attention. Hey, I'm interested in you. They may have a list of 7 non-negotiables, and this person only checks off 3. But it's like, you know what? They're giving me attention, so they could be the one. So forget these other 4s. Non-negotiables that I have. Let me cut my standards and expectations in half, rather than expecting somebody to be all of these and treat me like this when you really should, right? And so what it looks like for a woman to exude her natural confidence as a feminine woman is to have these standards and expectations, to know and understand that you are the prize, right? Femininity looks like seeing yourself as the prize and expecting to be treated like it. It also looks like you trusting God and not fearing being late. And when I say late, I'm talking about you in life experiencing things later than other people are, right? You see all your friends getting married or in serious relationships at 27, and you 28, you 29, you 30. Like, you're a confident woman looks like, okay, God's best is going to happen. May God's perfect will be done. God, do whatever you have to do through me, in me, around me, to prepare me for the man that I desire to be with, the relationship that I desire to be a part of, right? So a confident woman doesn't rush. Femininity trusts God to bless them with their husband in his perfect timing, not their perfect timing, but in God's perfect timing. Because in God's perfect timing, you'll be blessed with him or whatever it is that you desire, exactly when not only you're ready, but you're prepared to steward that thing properly, right? And so what that looks like, a great example of what it looks like was when Ashley and I were dating and we slipped up, had sex, and she kicked me out of our house. And in the process of kicking me out of our house, she said, Carrington, I like you, but I love God, and my relationship with God is more important than my relationship with you. Therefore, if you can't be the man of God that I need you to be, then we won't be together, right? Now, that statement, and I did a podcast about it earlier, but that statement, right, is standard. That statement is expectation, and that standard put her in a position to where I could say, you know what, I'm not going to meet this standard, I'm good, and then she would continue to be single and we wouldn't be anything else. But you have to understand that in order to position yourself to be accepted, you have to position yourself to be rejected. And when my wife said that to me, she positioned herself to be accepted by positioning herself to be rejected, and I chose as a man to level up to her standards, to her expectations, become who I need to be in order to be able to have a relationship with her. And ladies, that's why it's so important for you to exude confidence and walk in the feminine nature of it, and to walk in your standards and expectations and stand by those standards and expectations. Because when you implement standards and expectations in relationships, it positions the other individual to have, it gives the other individual 2 options. They can either step up and become who they need to be a part of this relationship, or they can stay who they are and go on about their business, right? It makes it easy for you to weed out who doesn't belong because they'll do it themselves. All right. So the first characteristic of a feminine woman is confidence. You know who you are. You trust and have faith and belief in God, and you allow the confidence in God to exude as confidence in yourself, right? But in a humble manner, right? The next one is this. The woman is life. Right, and that's one of the primary affirmations that I give women, is that they are life. Because I know 100% and understand that nothing in this world will be possible without a woman. Why? Because women give birth. They have babies. And everything that was created, well, now majority of things that were created were not created by God, but they were more so ideas inspired and seeds planted in the minds of people by God, right? Well, all the good things. And then those people could get those ideas or visions if they weren't birthed, and the birthing process comes through a woman. So as a woman, you have to understand and believe that you are life, right? As a woman, you being feminine looks like you breathing life into everything and everyone that you are a part of, including yourself, right? So giving life and being life as a woman looks like you reviving things. You come across things that are dead and you revive them, whether it's at your workplace, whether it's in your own personal business, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your relationship with your significant other, or even if it's just with yourself. Like you're a reviver, you revive things, right? And so along with that, in a relationship, this looks like the moments in which a man may be experiencing limited thoughts or beliefs about himself and bring them to you. Right, your feminine communication, you being feminine, you walking into the natural organic woman that you are, looks like you pouring out affirmation on him and reconstructing his current negative thoughts into the positive, life-giving thoughts that align with the image that God has created him in. A guy, your boyfriend, your fiance, your significant other comes to you with these negative thoughts, negative beliefs, negative emotions that he's going through. He comes to you, he brings those dead thoughts to you, and you sprinkle some life on him. You look him in his eyes and you remind him who you are. You a man of God. You strong. You powerful. You're great this. You're awesome that. And you lift that man up by breathing life in the dead situation or the dead areas of him that were present. So as a woman, second thing, a woman is life, right? I experienced my wife giving birth twice, right? So as a woman, you are life and you are a life giver, right? So 1 is confidence, 2 is life, and 3 is a multiplier. Right, as a woman, you being feminine is you being a multiplier. As a woman, you being feminine looks like you multiplying and expanding anything that you're a part of. Every time a woman goes somewhere, she grows it. She grows it like a natural, organic, feminine woman, like a woman walking in her natural nature. Anytime you go somewhere, you expand and you grow and you multiply whatever that thing is or wherever that place is. Why? Because you're a natural multiplier. When I first met my wife, I was in my junior year in college, working a part-time job, just gave up football, no idea what I was going to do with my life, right? And after, almost 6 years of being together, I am a speaker, an author, an entrepreneur, a podcast host, a relationship expert, a coach, a counselor. Like, I got, my wife added some commas to me. And it's funny, when we were dating, she used to always say, I'm an upgrade, like the Beyonce song. And she used to say it playfully, but that's true. Like, as a woman, you have to understand that you are the upgrade. Like, you are that man's next level in life, right? That's why when God looked at Adam, he said, it's not good for you to be alone. I called you to do all this stuff, but you're not equipped by yourself to get it done, and you need somebody. So let me give you this woman so she can upgrade you, so she can multiply you, so she can guide and direct and give you wisdom and knowledge that you may be able to see or even be exposed to fill in these gaps that you have that will help you get to where you're trying to get to. Right, which is why God called the woman to help meet, not to help make, but to help meet. Because a woman's like natural, just a woman in her natural state, she desires to help you meet your goals. She desires to help you meet your vision. She desires to help you meet your desires. Right, she desires to help you meet all the goals and accolades that you desire in life, like in her natural sense. So the natural woman is a multiplier, right? I'm a believer that if a man is called to be married, it is impossible for him to complete his calling to the max without being connected to his favor, to his woman. I tell my wife all the time, and people all the time, like, outside of God, my wife is the reason why I am now who I am and becoming who I'm becoming. My wife stretches me. My wife makes me very uncomfortable with a lot of things that she does, simply because she exudes greatness. My wife exudes phenomenal, and in the areas that I lack in, that I slack in, that inspires me to do better. Right, that inspires me to grow. That inspires me to invest in myself. That inspires me to progress in myself. Right, because she's an inspiration to my life. Right, and so you have to understand, like, you are that multiplier, like you are that favor, you are that blessing, you are that gift, you are that gap filler for that man to get to the next level in his life. But you communicate this to him through femininity by guiding through questions rather than directing through demands. Now, so when it comes to femininity, the importance of femininity in a relationship is to balance out the relationship, right? Because a man is primarily masculine and the woman is primarily feminine, right? And so you don't want two masculine individuals in a relationship, and you don't want two feminine individuals in a relationship, because nothing will get done. So you need that balance of masculine and femininity, right? And so when it comes to being feminine, and really, once again, this was my wife, the 5-week training was about feminine communication. So here's a little nugget. So when it comes to, ladies, you're in a relationship, you communicating from a feminine place is not always telling, guiding, or directing, but it's not always guiding and directing directly. right? It's directing and guiding indirectly in the form of asking questions, right? So this is what that looks like, ladies. If you want to do something, instead of saying, hey, I want to go do this, you say, hey, have you ever done this before? Hey, wouldn't it be cool to go do this? Or, hey, would you be interested in checking this out? Because it's like you're asking a question, positioning him to make the decision. And as a man, being a masculine individual, we're the decision makers. Like, we desire to make the decision. But we ain't the smartest. Therefore, we don't know all the answers. And so by you asking a question and saying, hey, this, that, and the other, that gives us an opportunity to realize, one, okay, she must want to do this, which is why she asked it. And then two, gives us the ability to make the decision and really be the leader. So being feminine is guiding, directing indirectly through questions, right? So that's what feminine communication looks like. And so that's it, beautiful people. When it comes to being a woman, when it comes to being the natural woman, when it comes to being feminine, 3 of those characteristics are you being confident, not just in yourself, but in God, and trusting that God will do what he's called to do. I mean, what he desires to do and what he promised you that he's going to do in his perfect time. And 2, the woman is life. You give life, and you give life, and you bring to life everything that you're connected to and everything that you're a part of, and even the relationships that you're connected with as well. And the last one is, as a woman, you are a multiplier. Like, you add commas everywhere you go. You expand everywhere you go and everything that you're a part of. And so that's 3 characteristics, 3 avenues, 3 perspectives, 3 ways that a woman, or not even that a woman is, but that femininity in a woman looks like, because those are natural characteristic qualities, organic characteristics and qualities of a woman. All right, beautiful people. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope this blessed y'all. If you haven't already followed me on all social media platforms, I am at the Carrington Brown on all social media platforms. If you have not taken advantage of your free 15-minute consultation, go ahead and click the link in the bio, and let's take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and begin the journey of creating the life that you desire and deserve. Also, if you are in the Dallas Metroplex, listen, on August 17th, if you're in a relationship, serious relationship, engaged or married, my wife and I are hosting a couples enrichment My wife and I are hosting a couples enrichment seminar or course, whatever you want to call it, called Before the Next Step. And in this course, what we're going to be doing is equipping couples to reconstruct their foundation to position themselves to have a thriving relationship, right? It's called Before the Next Step because a lot of times we teach it to just dating couples, but we realize from being connected to different married couples that they as well need help. They as well didn't have these conversations. They as well didn't do these exercises and activities. Therefore, they don't have this in a relationship. And so it's been bumpy because they didn't have these conversations or do these exercises or activities. So it's open to engage, seriously dating or married couples. Once again, August 17th, Dallas, Texas. It's going to be, I was about to say fun, but I'd be lying. It's going to be intense. It's going to be some work. But what it's going to do is it's going to prepare you guys for the future. It's going to prepare you guys to do the work of marriage, to do the work of the ministry of marriage, and really just to it's going to position you guys naked and transparent in a relationship to give you a great perspective and position you to have enough information and knowledge about the other person to know whether or not you truly want to spend the rest of your life with them. So once again, August 17th, Dallas, Texas, dating with purpose. I'm not dating with purpose, Before the Next Step. So once again, August 17th, Dallas, Texas, Before the Next Step, couples enrichment. Yo, you need to be there. If you're in a relationship, seriously dating, engaged, married, you need to be there. All right. Thank y'all so much once again for tuning in to this episode Thank you guys so much once again for tuning in to this week's episode of the WINsdom Podcast, and I look forward to speaking with you guys in a couple of weeks. Until then, y'all be blessed and have a phenomenal day. All right.